Hey guys. So I was in my final year, in my final semester in the acting program at the University of Victoria, and I was nervously pacing back and forth in a hallway, about to go into my audition for the worst play of all time. I don't know if do you guys remember hearing about that Julie Taymor production of Spider-Man, the musical that like U2 did the music for? It was like universally panned and lost millions of dollars. Well, this play would make that look like the importance of being earnest, which is delightful, if you've never seen it. This play that I was auditioning for had been written 15 years earlier by a Quebec City novelist. And upon reading it for the first time, I quickly understood why it had never seen the light of day, had never been produced, had never even been workshopped. It was bad in an obvious kind of way. And the play was called Lionel. And Lionel was the story of a little person named Lionel, who's an incredible singer. So it takes place in 1920s America. So Lionel starts busking with his African-American friend Sunshine, who accompanies his singing by playing the violin, until one day an evil carny comes to town and sees them perform, and he thinks, little person, big voice, I can exploit that. So they run away, they join the circus, the crowds come, and little Lionel becomes a superstar. But as his fame gets bigger and bigger, you guys, Lionel literally gets bigger and bigger. He grows into a regular-sized man, and then he keeps growing until he's a giant. And everyone thinks that it's a miracle. But then Lionel is diagnosed with a rare form of gigantism, which is fatal. So his health and his ego take a turn for the worse. Sunshine, the black fiddler, turns into an alcoholic. Everyone loses their fortune and dies. And then the play ends. What an insightful comment on the nature of celebrity. Or something, I think. So the master's director at our school, he finds this play in an archive somewhere, and he reads it, and he thinks to himself, wow, what a great challenge for me, the master's director, to have to solve the problem of making an actor literally grow on stage. And I have at my disposal an army of student actors and designers and a sizable budget to make this magic happen. I like my chances. So at this point in time, I'm a fourth-year actor, which means that I am obligated to be in this play. So when I read it for the first time, I'm looking for a role that I can see myself playing. And I find one. Jake, the bodyguard. You know, he wears suits and a fedora, and he's got a Boston dialect, and he's always being mean and catcalling women and saying things like, hey, knock that shit off. And I think to myself, I can play Jake, because I'm always cast as one of the good guys, and I thought it might be a good challenge for me to sort of go against my type. Remember that. So I go into the audition, and I tell the director I want to play Jake the bodyguard. I read some sides from the script, and he tells me on the spot that I have the role, and I'm ecstatic, because that never happens, mostly because I'm a bad actor. So a couple weeks later, the playwright flies in from Quebec City to Victoria for the table read with the full cast. And when this guy walks into the room for the first time, he looks really nervous and confused and on edge. And I think it's because he was certain that he had destroyed every copy of this train wreck 15 years earlier. So the table read goes horribly because the script is bad. And all of us are mortified that we have to be in this play. And I'm like, was I cast in this, or was I trapped in this? And I'm really upset about it. But then I think, oh well, you know what? I'm Jake the bodyguard. You know, I'm gonna go on stage. I'm gonna say my lines. I'm gonna get a few laughs, and then I'm gonna go backstage, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. Like I don't have anything to worry about. So then, oh my God, I'm having a moment here. 18 months. Just give me 1 second. These moments are good. This is the good stuff. So then we. Oh yeah. So I'm fine being Jake the bodyguard. So then one night the director calls me in the middle of the night, and he says, Sam, I'm so sorry to call you so late at night. And I'm like, no, man, don't worry about it. Is everything okay? He's like, no, unfortunately, things aren't going very well at all. I need to discuss something with you. I'm like, yeah, sure, man. I'm all ears. He's like, well, Sam, it became apparent to me at that table read that we're gonna have to make some changes. That table read didn't work at all. I'm like, really? I thought the table read went fine. It became apparent to me that the actor playing Sunshine, the African-American fiddler, might not be able to handle the role. Sidebar. The character of Sunshine, the violin player, is a black man. The problem facing this production of Lionel is that there are no black men in the city of Victoria to play him, because Victoria is a world that is so white that it makes a Norman Rockwell painting look like it's a cast photo of Orange is the New Black. And it was a problem that they knew going in. There's just literally no black actors in town. So in pre-production, they talked about the possibility of maybe like flying in a professional actor to play the role, but then they deemed that to be too expensive. So they did what they decided was the next best thing. They gave the role to my friend Scott. But Scott is not of African descent, though. Scott is of Bangladeshi descent, which is, interestingly, equal parts not black and not white. But I guess it was the best that they could do. And while Scott would grow as a performer and become a fabulous actor, at this point in time, he was just in his first year of training and perhaps didn't yet possess the chops required to play this major role in the shitty script. He was like, Sam, I'm calling because I want you to play Sunshine. What? I think you're actor enough that you can handle the role. You should say something. Sunshine is black. Yes, he is. I'm not black, but you are a great actor. You're a versatile actor. Sidebar. A versatile actor, I could see why he thought that I was a versatile actor, because the last 3 roles I played on the main stage at school are as follows. I played an upper-class Texan lawyer in Moliere's Tartuffe. Like, these folks honor, these folks advocate, is models for us all to emulate. I played an elderly, blind, Polish, Jewish basket weaver in a play called Crackpot. Oh, Chodolo, I love you so much. L'chaim. And then I played a lower-class Cockney talking horse in Wind in the Willows. No, don't touch me. I don't like being stroked. But this vast array of roles, however, it's more to do with the fact that directors just never really knew where to put me, and less to do with me being like young Daniel Day-Lewis. It'd be a great challenge for you, Sam. What do you say? I can't play Sunshine. I think you can. How? Oh, you know, with a little dialect work and some costume, makeup. Whoa. Makeup? Like makeup? Yes, Sam. Makeup. Okay, but when you say makeup, I'm concerned that you mean makeup. Oh, I see. Oh, you're worried that we're going to put you in blackface. Oh, goodness. No. What we are aiming for is to sort of tip our hats to blackface. But there will be black on my face. Yes, your face will be entirely black. I'm not putting on blackface. Sam, I'm sensing a lot of skepticism from you. What is it that you're so afraid of? Of being racist. Okay, Sam, I'm going to level with you, okay? I need you to play this role. You are the only actor with the integrity that I need to pull this off, okay? You would be doing me a favor, okay? This show needs you. Let me know tomorrow. Yeah, well, I'll just be telling you no tomorrow. Until tomorrow. Good night. So the next morning, I wake up and I think to myself, no, there's no way that I'm doing this. So then I proceeded to do what I'd done every Sunday morning over the course of my university days. I turned on Inside the Actor's Studio with James Lipton. And the guest that week was Forrest Whitaker, of all people. And in the interview, he told a story of how once during his university training, he was confronted with this role that was a huge challenge and far outside himself. And he was reluctant to take it, but then he decided that this is his training, this is where he's free to fall on his face. So he took the role, he put in the work, he grew as an actor, he earned much acclaim, and now he has a goddamn Oscar. But I, of course, now see in retrospect how ironic it is that Forrest Whitaker is the one that made me change my mind about taking this role, because if he saw our production of Lionel, no one in the world would have been more outraged than Forrest Whitaker. So I take the role, and over the course of the next several weeks, I really put in the work. I mined the script and I built a character. And I even had the dialect coach come in to help me with my southern 1920s African-American dialect. And it came out sounding a little something like Eddie Murphy as Donkey in the Shrek movies. I'm not going to do it. But the worst was when, in the final week of rehearsal, the costume designer comes in and she puts me in a large purple bow tie and colors in my entire face black. If the LA Clippers former owner, Donald Sterling, saw this play, he would have been like, that's pretty racist, you guys. You should probably shut this down immediately. But, whenever I had my doubts about it, all of the adults whose approval I was seeking, the head of the department and all of my acting profs, they'd all take me aside and reassure me that I was doing a great job. I had nothing to worry about. And then, before we knew it, it was opening night, and there were over 200 people there, many of whom were there to review the show. And I remember I was sitting in my dressing room that I, of course, ended up sharing with the guy who would play Jake, the bodyguard. And I just remember quietly seething with resentment as I was applying my blackface, and I look over at him adjusting his awesome fedora. The stage manager comes in, calls us to places, and on my way to my spot for the top of the show, in the back hallway, we have this full-length mirror, and I went and I stood in it, and I saw myself in this costume, and I vividly recall saying out loud, I'm gonna be on the news for this. And out we went, and we did the best that we could do with what we had, and it went badly because it was a bad show. A couple days later, the reviews came out, and they went a little something like this. Worst play ever. Why would anyone do this play? Unbearably awful. Poorly directed. I felt bad for the cast. Oh yeah. And there was a guy in blackface who acted poorly. And we still had 3 weeks of run left to do. Thank you.